The Material Ledger Top-Down Values Analysis is a custom application that presents you with a wealth of insightful material ledger values by different business scenarios. When launching the application in Fiori, first, you will see some familiar fields which are self-explanatory. Here users can enter specific values or value ranges, allowing aggregated values for analysis. These self-explanatory fields are company code, year, posting period, valuation area, and material. You will also see the price determination field, which will determine if a material is candidate for actual costing or not. They are candidates if they have price determination 3, which is called single multi-level. Within the selection screen, you will have two application-specific fields which are explained as follows. The first one is scenario, which refers to the logistical and accounting events that impact the inventory value. In these scenarios, we distinguish between two primary types of events: receipts and consumptions. Receipts refer to events that increase inventory values. Examples of receipt scenarios include procurement activities and purchase orders. On the other hand, consumption scenarios represent events that decrease inventory values. This category encompasses delivery for sales orders, good issues to cost center, and general consumption. Then you will see the currency type and valuation view field with which the amount is calculated if using parallel valuation. This is not an aggregated field to prevent value duplication. The other application-specific input field is category in ML data display, which corresponds to each line or folder in the material price analysis application, also known as CKM3. At the bottom, you'll see the layout field, which is used to select the display of values according to specific information needs. For example, PUP trend, net change, source of variance, and ML scenarios. In essence, each layout represents a report. For this reason, we can say that this application is intuitive, because you will choose the appropriate layout. The engine of this application produces values of interest for the business, like PUP, and variances that can be shown in different ways. Here we will show you at least 4. Imagine you want to know the trend of the PUP. With this layout, the user can easily monitor it. The name of the layout is Standard versus PUP. Here the standard is the cost per unit at which the material is valued for inventory purposes, and the periodic unit price, PUP, is the actual cost per unit for a particular period. Standard versus PUP will show how far off from the standard in percentage is the PUP. With this layout, the user can easily monitor the trend of the periodic unit price of all the materials during a range of periods, and it is possible to see, at a glance, the standard cost, the periodic unit price, the materials, and the periods with large percentage variances, which show actionable information because you can go directly to the one with the highest percentage of variance for further scrutiny, drilling down to the Material Price Analysis app, or CKM3, which is the star report of the SAP out of the box. And this is why ML is powerful. You would say that SAP already has this, and it's true, but this report will show this in a massive fashion, organized, intuitively, so you avoid data crunching. Imagine for a moment that after seeing the trend of the PUP in previous layout, we have this other layout to see the absolute variance as a complement of the first report. Because it is possible that even though the difference is low, the net amount may be significant, and this report will help us to identify that. With this layout, the users can easily identify materials with the largest absolute variance to analyze further if needed. For example, the first line for material FG1CP in period 4 has 235% of variance, but the net impact is $14,500. But the other line for material MZFGC990 has only 9.58%, but this represents a net amount $62,094. This is insightful information. This layout shows the difference between the actual cost and total value, where total value represents the material standard cost times the transaction quantity, also known as preliminary value. Variances or price difference is any difference between the standard cost and the value posted for each material-related transaction. An actual cost is the total value plus the variances. This is a powerful layout also because it brings the line of the cumulative inventory calculated on the fly from CKM3 in a mass fashion. As you can see in these examples, you can navigate to CKM3 from this app to corroborate that the same cumulative inventory values are in the report and in the material price analysis app. Definitely, this application will do your life easier. Its engine will produce valuable mass information available at your fingertips, calculated on the fly, for you to save time when doing your analysis. Can you do this analysis without this app? Yes, you can, but you need to be doing data crunching. Go from one report to the other. With this app, you don't have to do data crunching anymore. You are using your time to analyze the more important things on the business, getting away from the tedious work. In previous layouts you can see the total variance, but with this layout you have the production scenario details to identify the source of those variances. With this layout you can easily identify the source of variance within the production scenario. Source of variance are the elements contributing to the material variances, and with this layout you can see where the price difference comes from. Manufacturing expenses due to actual activity type rate calculation, low-level materials, and production order settlement. So after we saw the PUP and the net change layout, we can go and see the origin of the variance. Why is this layout important? Because it provides deep insights, actionable data, and simplified navigation. This app dissects your production variances to pinpoint the exact factors influencing them. And lastly, this other layout helps identify the variances by business scenarios. The values are summarized by scenarios, such as consumptions, cost center, debit credit, price change, procurement, production, purchase order, sales order, stock transfer, subcontracting, and so on. We have some receipt scenarios, which are those events that increase the inventory values as procurement and purchase order. These receipt scenarios can produce a change in the price per unit. And on the other side, we have consumption scenarios, which represents the events that will decrease inventory values as sales order, cost center, and consumptions because they represent decrease in inventory quantity. There are also some scenarios that can be in receipts and or in consumptions depending on the effect on the inventory as production, subcontracting, material transfer posting, stock transfer, debit credit, and price change. This ML scenarios layout allows for a high-level analysis before deciding which lower-level details are the ones requiring further scrutiny at the material price analysis level. Something important to mention is that this report predicts the PUP for purchased materials before running the CKM-LCP. Because ongoing variances posted in accounting, such as purchase price variance (PPV), are identified by the app engine and computed accordingly. From the scenario, you can drill down to identify materials with larger variances and navigate to CKM3 if needed to see details you would like to explore. In this case, we are drilling down into the purchase order scenario. In addition, you can tie some of these scenarios' values to the GL accounts. For example, purchase order, debit credit, and price change, making this app a powerful tool to trace postings. Now that you have seen this demo where you saw only 4 layouts, you experienced how intuitive this application is, and how transparent the variances through the supply chain become. In addition to keeping its integrity with accounting postings, and the ability to predict the PUP, you can appreciate how valuable this tool is for your business.